Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Santa Talk with Santa Tom. I appreciate everybody being here right now. Maybe more will show up, maybe not, and that's okay. We are filming this live, but it will be available on Restream as well. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that what a modern day Santa Claus, what it means today, and what it should mean for all of us as professional Santa Claus. Again, a lot of this is my opinions. But I hope you take something away from it. It's so good to have everybody here. I want to say a quick hello to everybody real quick. And Santa Allen was the first one in here today. Sleigh Bells Mowing, thank you so much for coming in, brother. Santa Daniel, thank you so much to the Santa Squad. You guys are great. Hey Baker, how you doing, man? I will be on with Baker and Bishop and those guys tonight at I believe it's 6 p.m. my time, maybe 7 p.m. Central Time. I could be mistaken. I know I'm on the show though, so looking forward to it. All right, Santa Daniel. Noah, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, man. Santa Troy, there you are. And Mike Ramsey, driving but wanted to say hi. Hey, thank you so much for coming in, Mike. I appreciate you so much. Just met up with Bishop for lunch. Hey, that's awesome. That's great, man. I love meeting people any chance I get in the bearded community. So, hey, I hope you guys took some pictures. But guys, hey, welcome. Today I want to talk about being the Santa that the world needs right now. And before I get into this, I do want to say that the season is starting to crank up, right? Events are starting to get made. I'm answering emails almost daily now. And talking to people about doing some stuff. But I want to do a lot more volunteer work this year, whether it be to the Texas Children's Hospital or community events. I've been doing a lot of discounts for schools and things like that this year because I really want to get more involved with my community. It's just something that's important to me. And we'll talk about that as the show goes on. But if any of you do any of that sort of things, please let me know. Any kind of charity events that you do or have done in the past, please make yourself known in the chat if you are a professional or a Santa Claus, and we'd love to give you a shout out. A couple more people have jumped in here. Hey, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you here, brother. Thank you so much. All right, Bubba, Santa Bubba, how you doing, brother? Bearded Wine Guy is Steve, I believe, is a brand new Santa. Just saw his boots today on Facebook, a post, and I'm excited. I'm excited for you, brother. It's always exciting seeing people put things together. Their Santa suit and everything coming together. David, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you from Alabama. Thank you so much for being here. Bill, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you so much. But let me know if you guys are professional Santa or Mrs. Claus, if you guys are doing any kind of charity work this year, I'd be interested to know because it's something I really want to do more of and kind of give back to the community, right? So yeah, and I'm gonna go into that, but without yes, we're excited to have you here, brother. So excited. This world needs more Santa and Mrs. Clauses for sure. And elves and anybody else that can get involved. Grinches, we need more in the community. All right. But guys, today I want to share this, but I'm also going to be taking a break. The reason why is because as things get going here, we got a lot of things going. Starting in November, I've got a lot of photography. A lot of us get those photography events that we get going on. So I'll be having a lot of those in November. Don't know how much time I'll have. If I can sneak in a Santa talk, I will. But I will also be kicking back up probably right after the Christmas, right after Christmas. So sometime the first week of January, I'll be kicking back up. I'm not going to take a long break because I love doing this show. I love getting on here and talking and meeting new people. So, but just to let you guys know, there may be a little pause in the show just because things are kind of picking up. Okay, but today, I want to talk about be the Santa the world needs right now with Santa Tom, because the world still needs wonder, kindness, and a little Christmas magic. So people, and I'm gonna get to some stuff here in just a second, but I do want to sneak this in here. Santa Troy says the wife and I have 4 events still go Toys for Tots. I love it. We did our first event this year. I saw the pictures; they were great within the first weekend of this month. That's outstanding. So hey, that is outstanding. I look forward to doing some things. I really want to work more with the Texas Children's Hospital. Since my granddaughter was there for 3 months, I would love to be able to give back in some way. But that goes back that the world, and we always kind of need to give ourselves a daily reminder of this, don't we? The world needs wonder, kindness, and a little Christmas magic. How do I end every show? Pretty much every show, whether it's this show or the Trace Amigo show, that remember that this world needs a little kindness. So be kind to one another, right? And keeping Christmas in your heart year round. So I don't want to give away the ending. So you guys already know it already, but we need to be kind and remind ourselves year round. Now, let me throw this in here as well, because people that know me personally know we're not talking about kindness is not weakness. Right? Kindness is one of the greatest strengths I think a human being can have, because when we're kind to one another, we make this world a better place. Now, it doesn't have to just be around Christmas time, but why do we feel this way around Christmas time? Well, because it's the kind of, we call it what? The season of giving, right? We call it the spirit of Christmas, right? All those things, and people just feel a little bit more. We've all seen the movie Scrooged and all the movies that kind of give this kind of vibe, right? That around this time of year just makes you feel a little bit better. But why not be that way the whole year, right? I see people doing things today. Santa's doing things as the summer Santas and doing things year round, and I absolutely love it. Going to the Renaissance festivals, which I love. I'm a big Renfest nerd. You see all different kinds of Santas out there that are steampunk Santas and pirate Santas, and it's just so neat to see, and I absolutely love that. But the message behind the suit, when we wear this suit, we're not just portraying a character, we're carrying a legacy of hope. All right. And I got some talking points along with each slide here. Each time we put on the red suit or burgundy or black or whatever kind of suit, Santa suit that you're wearing, we step into a role that can heal, inspire, and remind the world that goodness still exists. I've talked to a couple of you guys offline, and you guys talking about showing up to places in your suit, just kind of out of an event, right? Showing up to a restaurant or whatever in a Santa. What does it do? It puts a smile on people's faces, right? Just that atmosphere changes when you step in there as Santa Claus. It just changes the environment. It's almost like being in a room full of people, and it could be serious conversations going on, but let a little child start laughing, right? Let a little baby start laughing or making cute noises. All of a sudden, all the adults get smiles on their face, don't they? It's the same concept, right? It's just something that adds a little joy. And guys, I've said this many times, there comes a point in a lot of our lives where you see enough negativity, enough loss, enough just hard times to where it just feels so good. And Steve, Bearded One Guy, Christmas is a feeling, Santa Daniel, 100%. Absolutely. You are correct. Here, let me put that up there. Santa Daniel says, Santa, Christmas is a feeling. It is. It's a feeling. It's an atmosphere that we should be able to exude, right? So, Santa Stephen, he'll see this. The first time you put that suit on and a child runs up and gives you a big hug. It's a feeling that, it's hard to match. It's really hard to match. So, hey, Alexander, how you doing? It's good to see you. But that's what we're talking about. We put on that red suit for a reason. We invest a lot of our time, a lot of our finances to make people happy. So that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And that's why this year I'm looking to start stepping out and trying to do a lot more for the community as well. Now I'm still going to do my paid events. That's what helps, offset the insurance, the channels, the YouTube channels, and the websites and things like that, right? And filming equipment and things that I would like to start, doing more of. And some of the things I really want to start doing more of is getting more into film, movie type stuff, little short film, Santa short films and things like that. So that's some things I'm looking at investing in next. But one of the things that I said was I don't want to spend money out of my own. It's the business, the Santa Tom business that I want to reinvest back into myself. So, all right, said enough of that. Born Bitter Dave, so thank you so much for being here, brother. Appreciate you. All right, the next slide. The world has changed. I think we can all agree to that, right? Yeah, it doesn't take you don't even have to turn on the news anymore. You scroll through Facebook or, any social media. The world has definitely changed, and not so much for the better, unfortunately. People are always being martyred and persecuted all across the world, and what better way to bring a little joy and a little peace than to be Santa Claus and hopefully bring a smile to people's faces. But the world is louder, it's faster, and unfortunately more divided than ever. The talking point on this is children and adults alike crave calm, connection, and kindness. Santa represents the pause, the peace, the promise that love still wins, right? So, that's how we should portray ourselves when we're out. Confident, yet calm. And be that, you don't ever know, we run into a lot more autistic children this year, or our children with disabilities. And we need to be that calm strength for them, to be that little glimmer of hope and joy that they may only receive, during that time right there. So one of the things I love, I'm not a big supporter of Disney, but one of the things I love about Disney's characters, like when you go to Disney World, one of their biggest mottos is if a child runs up and hugs one of the performers, they don't let go until the child stops hugging. Isn't that beautiful? Right? That's so neat. Now, regardless of what people feel about Disney, or I don't support Disney, or I'm not here to support Disney, but what I'm saying is I think that's a good motto. That they are there for that child, for that moment, until that child's ready to let go. I think that's a beautiful picture. And I think that's exactly how we should be, in the moment. And always be ready. When that child sits on your lap that may not be, patience. They may not be ready to jump up in Santa's lap, but big old scary looking guy with a beard with a red suit on, that's really loud and boisterous. Because guys, I'm loud, right? I get out there and I go with it. My arms are up in the air. I do the Santa Ed Taylor, arms are up in the air and bring excitement. But sometimes we got to be aware that it may not resonate with some kids that are maybe on the spectrum or don't do well with loud noises. So we always got to be aware of our surroundings. That's why it's good to have a Mrs. Claus there as well to kind of help guide. I'm hoping, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I don't know if my Mrs. Claus can go join me this year, but definitely starting back up next year is what we're planning. So looking to give her a new suit. Hey, Sarge, thank you so much. Same to you, brother. Always. Merry Christmas. It's coming up quick. But we're hoping health-wise she's able to join me back next year. That's what we're kind of shooting for. So, all right, the next slide, guys. All right, Santa as a symbol of strength and compassion. True strength is wrapped in kindness. I don't care who you are, guys. You can't refute that statement right there. Talking point is being Santa isn't just laughter. It's listening. It's showing compassion to the lonely, patience to the anxious, and courage to keep showing up even when life feels heavy. All right. Some days we may not feel like going to that event. I get pumped up for events, right? I love the excitement of it. Do you get tired during that time of the season? 100%. Okay. Because I still got a job to go to. But when I leave, I might leave and go straight to an event, or I may work all day and then go to an event that night. then get up, go to work back in the morning, and we get tired, but we got to remember and constantly remind ourselves why we're doing what we're doing and what we're doing it for. So, yeah, that's what I just want to encourage you that, don't worry so much about being the loudest, ho, ho, hoer, or being the most extravagant, having the most extravagant suit. Put together what you can. We've done many videos on it, building what you got, starting where you're at, and go from there, and just be there, be present, be Santa for those that need it, that be that courage, be that compassion to the ones that are lonely. I've got an event this year, the only one so far. I think last year I had a couple, but the only one this year to a nursing home. I love going to nursing homes. All right. Why? Because you're able to bring back a memory, a childhood memory of to people that may have forgotten, or it's easy to forget, and you're there just for that little bit. You get to be that compassion for people, for the elderly, right? That may not get that joy every day, but help them forget just for a little bit where they're at, what situation they may be in, and just remind them of what that joy for being, and give it everything you got, right? You don't have to be. I hear so many new Santas, especially, saying, "Well, I just don't know. I need to get out there and practice." Your practice is in real time. Be yourself. The biggest advice I can give to anybody is just be yourself. Don't be nervous. Most of them don't know that you may be a brand new Santa, or it may be your first gig. Just be yourself. Be who you would want Santa to be. Right? There's so many Santas out there with years and years of experience that do an amazing job, but they all say the same thing. Just be yourself. All right? Have that heart of Santa, and you will be just fine. I promise you. I was so nervous my first event, but I got out there, and as soon as I opened my mouth, and the ho ho ho, it just comes out naturally. All right. All right. Let's see. Santa Daniel said, I did an assisted living facility the last year on Christmas Eve. That's beautiful, man. I love doing it. I love doing them. Just so amazing. All right. The man behind the beard. All right. Now, this isn't obviously a picture of me because I have no hair, and the gentleman on my right here has some hair out of the Santa suit. But we are Santas, but also fathers, friends, and mentors. Who we are when the suit comes off matters most. We carry the same love, humor, and integrity into our everyday lives. Guys, one thing that I've made a decision in my life, okay, and I don't like talking about this a whole lot. I've been to 3 tours of combat. Okay, I've worked at the prison systems that's seen more death, destruction, and chaos and hate than I ever want to see, and to last me a lifetime. All right. The decision I made is I want to be able to make a difference, hopefully can make a difference. All right. And when I put on, I'm a uniform kind of guy. I like uniforms, right? A lot of people don't like wearing a uniform to work. That's what I loved about the military. I loved wearing a uniform. It's just something about putting on a uniform. There's a brotherhood that comes along with that, right? And there's a sense of responsibility, a sense of professionalism that comes along with putting on a suit. Now, I'm a big stickler at the company that I work at right now because a lot of guys sometimes they don't like wearing a company uniform, right? But I tell them all the time, it makes you look professional. Put on your uniform, all right? Because if you're going to come to work, come in there, and I'm in the office, you're going to be wearing a uniform. It's the same with a Santa suit. When we put on that Santa suit, we should have that persona of a professional. And, hence the title Professional Santa Claus. I take that very seriously, right? You don't have to have a $2,000 suit to be a professional Santa Claus. But when you put it on, look your best, act your best, be professional, make memories that last a lifetime. Are you showing up for that little bit of money they're going to pay you? Or are you showing up because, and that's part of it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but are you showing up to make lasting memories? Because my idea and my goal is to make lasting memories. And I say that every time I talk to an individual that I'm going to do an event for, is I look forward to make lasting memories. And I think that means a lot to them. And they're like, oh, well, we're looking forward to it, right? I'm doing more schools this year. I'm going to more schools for whatever reason. More schools have reached out, and also more a library. I'm doing my first library where I'm going to go in and read the night before Christmas, right? And I'm looking forward to take photographs. I'm looking forward to that, because for me, the older I get, the more that I really want to, I want to give back to my community, right? Yes, there is an aspect. Am I going to make a living doing a professional Santa Claus? Not at this point. Is there people that do? Absolutely. There's people out there that make a very good living doing just the photographs. But, I'm not there yet. And I don't know, because, there's something that comes along with, if you've done photography with it's a lot of work. It's hot work. It's you got a lot of kids coming in, sitting on your lap, and it's almost like the mall Santa thing, right? It's rewarding, but it's harder work than what people think it is. Okay, I'm kind of getting a little off there, but remember who you are when that suit comes off. Remember to take time for yourself. I was just talking to a beard company owner, and I don't think you'd mind me saying his name, but Lee from EDC Beard Co. I was talking to him on the phone a little while ago, and he's always so encouraging, and he told me, remember, Tom, to take time for yourself. I know that, and I say that a lot. However, it's always good to hear. We always need to remind each other that, right? Take time for yourself. Remember, don't get so caught up that you get so busy that you start neglecting the things that we need to take care of: your family, your spouse, your relationships. We don't want to regret those, then start having bad feelings towards what we're doing, right? So that's just some food for thought right there. All right. Acts of everyday magic. Magic isn't the sleigh. It's in the moment, right? A patient smile, a small act of generosity. That's the real Santa work happening all year. Hey, thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate it, man. Look forward to seeing you. Have fun at your party, brother. Yeah, again, guys, it's that magic that we carry all the way around, all year round. It's wearing. You know what I love doing? Candace and I, my wife and I, we go out to eat every Saturday morning, like we did today. Now my beard already gets a lot of stares, right? And that's not bragging. It's a big beard, and it's about to get trimmed down, probably about 4 or 5 inches. It's shaped up. Guys, I haven't trimmed my beard in 2 years. It's hard to get that Santa look. It looks more like Santa Gandalf the Gray, right? But anyway, we get in those. We have those moments, even when we're out in our normal clothes, where we can still be generous. Maybe, like I'm wearing my shirt right here. Okay, I'm wearing my shirt, Santa Tom. I've got this. I don't wear this one as much, but I've got. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you coming in. I've got this shirt right here, and I've also got a red one. I love these, and these are just like work shirts that I had Santa Tom put on. All right, because when I put this on, I'm ready. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to go to work as Santa Tom. So I put this on. But if I'm wearing this one or my red one or one of my Santa T-shirts or something like that, inevitably I always get asked when I'm out there. Our kids are kind of looking. But what do I do when kids are looking? I always have stuff handy. Whether it be my card or my sticker. All right. A little sticker here I can give them, or I got magnets with these on it. I've always got something, the little cards, the Santa caught you being nice cards, and to give to them. And, is it kind of putting your name out there for a potential work? Absolutely. 100%. All right, because I'm always looking for my next event. However, but it's that act of kindness. You see a kid's face when they get a card. So, Santa, I've been caught being nice. I've had grown people run up to me in the store when I'm wearing red. It typically happens when I'm wearing red. They'll come running up, Santa, give me a big hug. And that's a good feeling, right? So, yeah, Magic isn't just in the sleigh. It's in the moment that we live every day. All right. The gift of presence. The greatest gift that you can give is to be fully present. In a distracted world, being present is revolutionary. When you make someone feel seen, you remind them that they matter. Look, guys, there's several things that people need in life. That's to be loved, to be accepted, and to feel like they belong, right? That's kind of basic human emotions that maybe not all of us, especially men, may say, I don't need any of that. Yeah, you do. You do. All right. Whether you want to admit it or not, everybody likes to feel accepted. People can say, I don't care if anybody accepts me. Yeah, you do. I don't care. I'll argue that point until my last breath. Yes, you do. Because when you feel accepted, we all looking to get accepted. Why do you think there's so many cliques, so many communities, right? You got the bearded community, you got the Santa community, you got this community, you got that community, and people get into this stuff. All right. Go into one of these communities and disagree with something they say. You're going to find out how quick people feel accepted, right? So, and guys, I say that lightheartedly. Hey, Inferno, thank you so much for being here. Man, that profile picture looks great. Great to have you here. Thank you so much. Hey, Jim, thank you so much for being here. It's the same with Santa coins too, 100%. Yes. And Frankie J, thank you so much for being here. Guys, we're talking about, being Santa year round, kind of like the same thing, just a different route that I do every year, but the same kind of topic. But be fully present. I want to tell you, I want to explain something to you. Okay, I have a bad habit of being just when I'm at work, my focus is work, right? I get work done. That's what I get paid to do. That's what I'm trusted to do. If I'm doing a beer product review, I don't get paid for them. But I take it very seriously. And if a company owner reaches out to me and talks to me about a product that's coming out of it, they know that they can trust me that I'm not going to put it out until I get their okay. All right. So, but I take that very seriously, and that's a reputation and trust that you build. Well, guys, it's the same. I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. I don't know why. Let me silence it here. I should have done this before the show. My apologies. But it's the same. You want to build that trust with your community. You want to build that trust with the people that you're with. You want to be present. The quickest way that you can, and the bad habit I was talking about is I'll be so focused at work. Guys would come in and start asking questions. I'm on the computer, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I have to remind myself, hey, stop, focus your attention on who's talking to you. Okay, because it's easy for people to feel brushed off. A lot of times, if your spouse is talking to you, and it doesn't look like you may be listening. Okay, I can be in the other room, my wife talking to me, and I'm not, and I'm hearing every word she says, but because I may have walked away, the perception is I'm not listening. So we always have to make a conscious effort to make sure that we're listening, to make sure that we're present. It's the same thing when those children come to you. Your focus ought to be on that child at that moment, right? I don't think anybody would disagree with that, but and it seems like something that would be so obvious, but your focus needs to be on that child. Okay, you may have now, guys. Let me ask you a question. When you go to a photography event, let me take this off the screen real quick. When you go to a photography event and you show up, maybe it's the photographer's first time doing a photo event. Some of the best advice I got from Santa Ed Taylor's group on the Worldwide Santa Claus Network is take control, take charge of that photo shoot, especially if you've done them already. All right. I've had people, now I've learned a lot over some events over the last several years is when you go into a photo shoot and let's say they do, or go to an event, they say, well, I want you here for 4 hours. Okay. Well, you can pay me for 4 hours, but I'm telling you right now, after about an hour and a half, it's going to be done. And sure enough, after about an hour and a half, the kids are off doing their own thing now. You can kind of overstay your welcome, so to speak. Now, you'd love to make a 4-hour event and make that money, but don't be afraid to kind of take over and say, hey, let me give you a tip here. You're asking for 4 hours, but I'm telling you, an hour and a half will be plenty. I promise you. If you need me to stay longer, we'll work something out there. And inevitably, it always works out. Same with a photography event. If you have a photographer that comes in and not too sure, take control. That doesn't mean be a control freak, but take control. Hey, hey, okay, let's do this. When the child comes in, I'm going to be doing this. All right. And my hands are going to be here. I'm going to be, when you see me, hey, snap that picture, those sort of things. The lighting, they may not be, most of them are pretty good about the lighting kind of things. I love doing outdoor photography events. So one of my favorite events last year was photography events was at a Christmas tree farm. It's a little warm, but it was outside. It was just really, really nice. Santa Allen, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that. Appreciate you, brother. Having a tough time not thinking about Christmas will be difficult for many this year. Yeah, 100%. Hey, it brings up a good point. That's what we do, right? We're there for those people. And you got to be self-conscious when you see somebody that you might. It's obvious that they're having a tough time. Hey, focus on that person. You see a kid that may be a little standoffish. Hey, spend some time with them, talk with them. Or not have the mentality, well, they're not paying me for that, or I'm not getting paid to do that. Hey, show compassion. I promise you, it's going to make you stand out, and they're going to want you back year after year. All right. Yo, Golden Fleece, what's up, brother? Santa Tom, if your elves unionized, how fast would the North Pole collapse? Asking for myself. Well, yeah. Well, it's not a union. It's a dictatorship. I'm in charge. They do what I tell them to do. No, just kidding. That's a good question. That's funny. I love it. Goodness. So true. Hey, yeah. Hey, thank you, Santa. Restoration. Thank you so much. Hey, True North, Chris, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you. But yes, again, guys, be there, be present. Be mindful if you show up and you see that child that may be a little standoffish, that may be going through that hard time. Santa Inferno said the perfect thing. Many people are going through difficult times right now, right? All over, not just the United States, all over the world. We have got to make a conscious decision to be the difference in this world. All right. And no matter what it is. All right. You also need to turn on your Santa Kid radar. 100%. Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about, right? Just be mindful always. You're going to have your kids there that are jumping around, so excited, so happy. Be happy with them, but also be mindful for the one that's standing over there in the corner that may be a little shy, that you may have to, spend a little extra attention on, and that's okay. And if they don't want anything to do with it, that's okay too. When they see you over there talking and having fun with the other kids, they may warm up. Give them a little bit to get warmed up, and that's okay as well. All right, the next slide here. Be the example. All right, the red suit is a light. It's not a spotlight. Okay. When we show up, a lot of times it's easy to feel like that all the attention should be on us. When we come in, do we want to make an entrance? 100%. But then as we come in and the spotlight's on us, then it should kind of fade. All right. We're still a light in there, but the spotlight should turn where? To the children. Right? Because that's what it's all about. Be the Santa who lifts others. Be the one who listens first, leads with grace, and carries joy like a torch in the darkness. I know there's a lot of a lot of phrases in here, but you guys, if you've seen any of my videos, I like to use my words. but yes, be that example. We don't take an oath as a Santa Claus. We're not police officers. However, there's kind of that unwritten rule, isn't there? There's something in us that we have a responsibility to share what's inside of us. Why do we do what we do? I mean, are you doing it for extra income? And if you do, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Putting on the Santa suit if you're just looking to make a little, but there should be something else extra in there. There should be that desire. And I think it's an innate desire, isn't it, in all of us that we want to make people happy. Most people. I'm not saying everybody in the world's like that, but there should be something in you that wants to be good, that wants to do good, regardless of what it is. You know, you got a lot of beer company owners that do a lot of good things. They give back to the community. They give back. They involve people, and that's what I love about the community, the Santa community as well. You know, there's always some kind of fundraiser going on, or there's always something going on where people are helping each other, because when you help others or you're there for others, it makes you feel good, or at least it should. Right. Guys, I brought up the penitentiary earlier, working in the penitentiary. Now, guys, you talk about being in there with some hardened criminals, but I'm going to tell you something. Around Christmas time, and my mindset wasn't always like this. I'm talking about years ago. Every year, something I did not like is they would have a choir of inmates that would stand in the hallway singing Christmas carols during chow time. So when the convicts were walking down a straight line, down that straight and narrow path right there on the sides of the hallways, you know, there was a line where they could cross over. If they crossed over that line, it was game on, because that was a threat to us, right? Well, anyway, so they were walking across and down that straight line, minding, and they're out there saying Christmas carols. And I didn't like that. All right, when I was there. Now I wish I could go back now and have the mindset I do now, because I'm gonna tell you something. The atmosphere was so much different. You had these hardened criminals, all right, that were in there, and not all of them hardened criminals. You got some guys that are locked up for, charges that I think are ridiculous. But anyway, they're locked up. They're serving their time to society, right? They're paying their debt to society. But the atmosphere was different. You know, they're singing Christmas carols. It's that time of the season, and it just seemed lighter, right? It just seemed like a lighter atmosphere, and I just thought I'd throw that in there. I just thought that was a neat thing, and I wish I could go back now. But it's being that example, right? That goes back to being that example. When we spread that cheer, it's infectious. Right? It affects other people. You can't help it. I mentioned earlier, when you're in a restaurant and a child starts laughing, when Chris and Tara are on a live and Finn starts laughing, you can't help it. It just makes you smile. When a child is laughing, it makes you smile, or at least it should. Right? So, but it's the same thing. When we go in there and you're, and you're just excited and you're happy and people can't help but smile. And that's what it's all about. If they don't smile, that's okay. It took the Grinch a little bit to grow a heart, right? It's okay. But we plant that seed. We spread that joy. All right. And the longer the event goes on, hey, you never know. They may get into that spirit, right? All right. So be the Santa. Did I skip a slide? Nope. I don't think I did. All right. Be the Santa the world needs right now. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, kind, and real, because that's what the world is missing, right? I said this a little bit ago. Everybody needs to feel accepted. Everybody needs to feel loved. I don't care if a person denies that and says, I'm a lone wolf. I don't need that, man. You do. All right. I've lived enough in this life, and I'm not saying I've seen it all by any means, but I've seen enough to realize that when you're in a foreign country away from your family, you want nothing more than to be there with your family on Christmas or Thanksgiving. All right. I will share this little story with you guys here real quick. I was over in it was a desert. Where was I? I guess we were in Iraq at the time during Thanksgiving. And the Army's great, and they're great trying to, I know people were doing their best, but trying to raise morale. We were going to have turkey, and we were excited. Well, what they brought out was not turkey. I don't know what it was, but it looked like they molded a big giant Spam into a turkey. So we had a joke, and we were calling it Spurky, right? Because it looked and tasted like Spam, but they said it was a turkey. It was a boneless turkey. I think that they took a big giant Spam and kind of carved out a turkey shape in it. But hey, you know what? It was just a fact that it was that moment that we had together thousands of miles away from home, that we were able to come together and share that moment. So you can't tell me that feeling a part of something or being home and being in that environment, we always look forward to, now as grandparents, we look forward to having our annual Christmas party over here every year. Candace, my wife, goes out, born bearded Santa. Hey, man, you don't know how much that means, Dave. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But we have a Christmas party over here every year. It's our family yearly annual Christmas party. Now, Candace goes all out. That's her. Of course, it's her favorite time of year. She's married to Santa Claus, right? But she goes all out. She's got this Christmas village that she's been collecting for years, and I mean, this thing is huge. It's more like two or three towns now. I mean, it takes up 10 8-foot of those folding tables. We have 10 of those 8-foot tables around, right? And they're full. They're full of villages, and there's a train that weaves in and out, and goes around, and it's a Lionel train, and it plays Christmas music, and it's remote control from your phone, and it blows puffs of smoke, and it's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous, right? But you know what I love about it is when the kids come over, it is the most magical thing in the world. And even when I'm not in my Santa, well, this year I want to be in my Santa outfit when they come over, but I haven't been in the past. But it's so much fun seeing. It's a lot of work putting that stuff up. In fact, I would go so far to say it's a pain. All right. However, it's all worth it when those kids come over and they're just so excited to see it. And the atmosphere is just, and my kids are here, when they're all together, because I don't ever get to see them except for maybe once a year all together. But they're all together, and it just gives you that joy. Ooh, I got to press on here, guys. I kind of get talking here, but you understand what I'm saying. So that goes back to what I'm talking about right here is be the Santa the world needs right now, regardless if you're in the suit or not. All right. Have I been called, guys, all kinds of stuff? I've been called corny. I've been called all kinds of stuff online. And that's okay. When you start making content, you got to have thick skin. I used to erase comments and not respond to them. I just leave them up now. I don't even respond if it's something negative or something. It's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but you got to be prepared for that. But I want to be consistent. And no matter what I do, if I've got to put out people, even beard product reviews, people's like, well, you don't ever put out a negative review. I do not. That doesn't mean I've never given negative feedback. Okay. I just do it in a different way. I'll reach out to that company owner in my own way and talk with them and tell them, hey, look, this is that, this is this. But as far as to come out, no, because I'm not about negativity. I'm about, and people can think of that however they want to, and that's okay. There's plenty of people out there that can confront. But I'm man enough and I'm big enough to where I don't need to deflect or defend the way that I act and the way I do things. I've seen enough in my life to last me a lifetime. But anyway, we're going to that. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being present. I think we can see what Santa Troy said here. Something I think needs to come back is caroling. Bring back this, man. You're speaking my language, man. I miss that. I miss that as a kid. Man, you kind of got me a little emotional there, Santa Troy. Yeah. How nostalgic is Christmas, man? When people think about being together with family, and, I don't care how big and tough we may think we get in life, man, nothing will humble a grown man quicker than thinking back maybe to their mom or loved ones they may have lost during Christmas time. Yeah, and caroling is one of those things. People used to do that a lot, and I think that people still do that more in other countries. But you don't see that a lot these days. I don't know why that is, but yeah. Thanks, Santa Tom. I have to leave for another point. Hey, appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming in, Santa Tim. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, and slide number 10. I think this is the last one. Carry the spirit beyond Christmas wherever you go, the grocery store, the gas station, the grandest event. Someone needs your smile, your story, and your strength. Be that Santa. The world needs him. Absolutely couldn't. I couldn't have said it better myself, and I did say it. I've talked about the stories of walking into the grocery store, and hey, it's okay. Somebody says, "Hey, Santa," stop and talk to him. Take a moment. Don't just wave, keep on walking. Stop and talk to them. You've just made their day. I've had a couple awkward moments. Like I told the story about the lady coming running up and giving me a big hug. Santa and her boyfriend or her husband or whoever it was, pretty sizable gentleman standing there next to her, going, "Oh, hey," and I'm showing my hands. I'm showing my hands, right? But be there and stop, talk to somebody, because you just never know what kind of difference you make. There's many times. Just to kind of go off subject here for a second, but there's a lot of times, guys, that, the little videos, I put out a daily video, and I made a commitment to myself that for a certain amount of time, could be 6 months, could be a year. I've kind of given myself a time limit to put out a positive video every day geared towards men. Okay. I don't get on TikTok a lot, but I post these videos on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. And guys, just whenever I feel like, that day comes up to where, all right, I'm done with it. I've done it enough, because it's, it might be a little inconvenient that day to stop and make a little video, and it's called Truck Talk. So I got to walk out to my pickup truck to make a video. But guys, what changes my mind about that is when somebody reaches out and says how much it means to them. Now I'm saying this not to promote or do anything like that, but what I'm saying is the same thing about the Santa. Towards the end of the season, no matter how tired I ever get, or how tired you get, it's that next event that you go to where the kid comes running up, gives you a big hug, and is so happy to see you, Santa, and that makes it all worth it. It doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter, it's been a long season. Last year, I think the last event I did was Christmas Eve. I don't think I did a Christmas Day event last year. And guys, I'll tell you, people have reached out to me and asked me all the time what I charge on Christmas Day. It's a lot. And there's a reason for that, because for one, I want to spend Christmas Day with my family. But if a family, I'll tell you, I put on my website $500 an hour. Now, I did 1 year where I went out, and people may say, "Oh my God," I've had people reach out. But if you don't set it that high, you're going to be getting phone calls all day wanting Santa. And but I had a family reach out, and of course I didn't charge them $500. They told me their story. I went over there. They weren't able to get into the mall to get Christmas presents, and when you got over there, you could tell that $500 would have been a substantial amount for them. But they wanted to give me something. If you give me the gas money that took me to get over here, hey, that's a good deal. But guys, be there for people if you can, if you're able to. I love dealing with the Santa Squad and talking to the Santa Squad. These guys that are on here. I hope you guys, thank you for your time. I'm always looking to learn and share with others. Hey, thank you, Santa David. Appreciate you. I've done Santa at biker clubhouses and have seen the biggest members smile ear to ear when the kids 100%. I'm telling you, you could take the biggest, baddest biker dude in the world, and they've got the biggest hearts, right? They're the biggest teddy bears. It's like me. People at work I always think I'm something, because when I'm at work, I'm serious. I take it serious. I'm telling you guys, but I'm also a big teddy bear. Right? There's nothing I wouldn't do for the people that I work with, that I care for, family, people in the community. I always want to be there if I can to help somebody, right? So, here we go, back to being there for people, guys. And I'm going to close it with that. Let's see what Yo Golden Fleece had to say here. Individual. Okay, my mom wrapped 12 plastic coat hangers individually like I just won the Price is Right, store edition. Not from Santa either. She made sure the tag said from Mom. Yo Golden Fleece tells the best stories, man. I love it. But guys, I will just say this. Yeah, I will be taking a break for the rest of until probably after Christmas. Please reach out to me. If you need anything, reach out to me, Santas. I have people reaching out to me every day. I had a Santa reaching out the other day. A couple of weeks ago, I sent him some beard products. He wasn't quite sure how to use them. I uploaded some Dan C bearded videos to the message, how to use beard oil, how to, and he messages me back a couple days later and says how much it's helped him. Right. I love giving, guys. So if anybody ever needs any products or anything like that, trust me, I can help you. And I don't charge anything. All right. I sincerely enjoy getting products into people's hands and teaching them. That's the whole point of this show, is to try to bridge that community, right, gap between the bearded and the Santa community, to get more Santas aware, because we put our beards through a lot, right? Whether it's through hairspray, whether it's through bleaching, whether it's through whatever whitening or whatever we're doing to our beards, we put our beards through a lot. But there is products and things that you can do to help keep your beard healthy, keep those split ends away, keep your beard nourished, keep your beard conditioned, keep your skin underneath healthy, because that's the most important thing, because your skin is the soil that your hair grows from. So please, if you have any questions, and all, I am not the expert, but there are plenty of experts in the community that may be able to help you out if I don't know the answer. And inevitably, if somebody has a question, I go look on Dan C's page, I download a video from that same question, give it to them, and it helps them out. And I'm going to tell you something too. I keep Dan informed of what's going on in the Santa community as well, as far as beard health wise goes. I mean, I'm not a spy for him or nothing, but he likes to know what's going on with Santas and their beard health and things like that. So I'm kind of like that liaison and keep them informed about that. And he really enjoys hearing news and hearing feedback from Santas that start using beard products. And that makes me feel good when somebody discovers that they can take care of their beard, even as brutal as we put our beards through. All right, guys. Okay. May need some. Hey, reach out to me, guys. May need to borrow some reindeer this year. Well, yeah, I got plenty of white-tailed deer down here. I don't have many reindeer down here. I use the oil you send me every day. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Bill Coates, hope you have a wonderful season. Take care of yourself, and thanks for what you do. Thank you, Santa Bill. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming in. Santa, hey, again, if you guys ever are in need of some help or some beard advice or beard products, reach out to me. If I don't have it, we'll get you pointed in the right direction. But guys, have a wonderful season. I'm not saying I'm not going to pop in every now and then, and we will going to have some Santas on. The Santa Squad's going to be on the Trace Amigos talk show coming up as the season comes around, and we'll probably have some other Santas on as well. I got to keep them guys in a Christmas spirit as well, right? So appreciate each and every one of you guys. Jeff Harmon, hey, that's okay. We got a replay, brother. Thank you for everything. Hey, appreciate you. Granddaughter, we went to see her today, Santa Daniel. She is doing wonderful. She was in the hospital, Texas Children, for 3 months. She's home now, little chunky baby. So she's doing really, really well. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys so much, guys. Again, reach out to me if you need anything. Remember, this world can use a little kindness, so be kind to one another. And as always, keep Christmas in your heart year round. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much.